First and 9 to 5 Sports Guys. It's your boy T.
What's happening? It's your man TJ.
What's going on? It's your boy Now.
And we just gonna get right to it. We had our pre-show meeting, and as per the pre-show meeting, first convo, first topic.
Hot topic.
Oh yeah.
Now take it away, man.
Spicy.
All right. So Cam Newton on his podcast or whatever the show is made some thought-provoking statements.
4th and 1 podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
4th and 1. Basically, I'm gonna sum it up. He basically said that in the NFL today there's maybe 8 to 10 elite quarterbacks or game changers, and all the other quarterbacks are game managers.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the quarterbacks that he named were Tua, Dak, Goff. Who else did he name? Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
These are game managers. And of course, the elites are the Burrows, the Rodgers, the Mahomes,
Brady.
Well, Brady's not in it right now.
Oh, sorry.
But Hurts.
Oh, current. Okay.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No.
Stratford. Matt Stafford.
Stafford. No. But
Wait
anyhow,
a minute.
those are the two differences that he was naming.
He's not elite?
He didn't name him, so I can't name him.
Oh, you just going off of who he named. I got you.
I'm paraphrasing what the statement was.
I got you.
But yeah, that's what the case was. So I wanted to get you guys' opinion, because a couple of episodes ago we had a back and forth about Cam being an MVP.
Right.
I mean a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Now, fast forward, he makes these bold statements that had basically the sports world in a frenzy. So what are you guys' thoughts and comments on that? The statement itself and then the whole idea.
To me, a game manager and a game changer, it is two different things.
Right.
But when you kind of like some of the players he named, because he called out other players too that are currently not playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Peyton Manning.
Right.
You know.
He mentioned Drew Brees.
Right.
Right.
And I mean, I don't agree with Drew Brees, because you take him off the field, there's obviously a difference. Obviously, you can see that now with the Saints the way they're playing now.
Right.
You know, so he is a game changer.
Right.
I mean, to me, Peyton Manning is a game changer. Yet those guys don't rush like Cam Newton do. Cam is
another element of quarterback.
right. I mean, that's another Michael Vick. Michael Vick is a game changer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Lamar Jackson, game changer. Hurts.
You mentioned Lamar as well too.
Right. Those are game changers because they have that rushing element to the game that a lot of quarterbacks don't have. So, I mean. But to say that, I ain't say he said this, but to say that quarterback is not elite because of those intangibles, that's not fair.
As far as his list of game changers and game managers, his outlook is different from mine, because I would look at a game manager as they simplify the offense to where we just don't want you to turn the ball over. To where a game changer is the whole offense is yours. Go out there and win the game for us.
Right.
Game manager, hand the ball off. Your couple throws here and there. Just don't turn the ball over and don't lose the game for the team.
Right.
That's the way you give the ball in somebody like Cam Newton's hand. And as long as the defense does their job, he can go out and win the game for you.
Right.
Let me ask you a question, real quick. Ask you a question. Okay, so there's nothing to take away from Cam Newton, because he had the package.
His body of work is,
yeah, he has the package. So
that's crazy.
My thing, what?
That's crazy.
I didn't want to say that the first time.
I tried to ignore it, but
I got it.
So look, take the same quarterback, right? Take Cam Newton. Take the same quarterback. Would you be able to perform if you didn't have those elite? If you had elite players, like
Tua.
Yeah, like Tua. If you take
Tua was a great example, because what was it, Monday?
Right.
They played recently. Tyreek got hurt.
Right.
And then again,
Different quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
Different quarterback the rest of the game.
Well, I mean, Tyreek takes the top off of the defense, so pause.
Yeah.
But
But not. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
if you got an elite quarterback and his team is garbage, is he elite?
Again, Brock as well early in the season.
I was going to say that.
Right.
I was going to mention Brock Purdy. We're looking at Brock Purdy because once Debo
and
Williams,
McCaffrey got hurt.
No, Trent Williams went down.
Remember, all three.
Well, all three of them went out.
All three of them went out
Okay.
for those 3 games,
And then
they went on a 3-game losing streak.
Right.
Now
Now,
they come back, they're putting up 40,
but see,
killing everybody.
Right.
here's my argument for Dak as far as MVP is because they're winning games because of Dak. Brock Purdy, he's a part of the system. Dak is the system in what you call it. Kellen Moore was the offense was a little different last year. Dak was throwing picks.
Here comes all the Dak stuff, but Dak.
But if you take CeeDee Lamb out of the game, Brandon Cook is just another Tyreek Hill. He goes over the top. If you take CeeDee Lamb out, that changes.
Absolutely, I'm not disagreeing with that. I mean, you take any
and Dak
top
is
wide
the
receiver
defense too. That defensive line
It's
puts them in short fields to where 50 yards is really all you need to go. And if you can't get 20, if you can't get 50, you get 25 and get a field goal every time.
But remember this: last year
Game manager.
he was throwing picks left and right. This year,
Still is.
He's doing a better job taking care of.
And he hasn't thrown. He hasn't thrown.
He
that
hasn't
many.
thrown that. Yeah, he
Again,
hasn't thrown.
The defense is better to where he doesn't have to go the whole length of the field. 50 yards again, 65 yards.
Yeah,
You
but
get about 30 yards of offense. That drive, you're in field goal range.
now you take it away from what Dak is doing good. We can knock him when he's not playing well, but when he's playing well, we gotta give him props.
No, I agree.
What
What he did to the Eagles was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's managing the game real good. I mean, we can choose the choice of words and say game changer and game manager, but he's managing the game real good.
Well, compared to, I brought up Brock Purdy because as far as the MVP conversation, Dak is the reason why they're winning games compared to Brock Purdy. They're two totally different
I get it.
systems.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, Brock. He's doing what he needs to do
He's
for
doing
them.
what he's supposed to do.
He's supposed to do because of that's how the way the offense is run.
It's just that simple. You got to have somebody to throw the ball.
Exactly.
On the right pockets.
The offense is geared towards Dak Prescott in Dallas. That's my only take on that.
I get what you're saying.
It looks the same to me. It just looks the same to me. I mean, we have yet to see his weapons get taken away from him like with Brock. I'm not defending Brock or downing Dak, but I'm just saying, like, we actually saw Brock struggle when key players were out. We haven't seen Dak struggle with key players out. So,
but that same team struggled all last season.
what do you mean?
He struggled last year.
Yeah.
Dak?
Well,
With the same squad,
hold
basically.
on. He didn't have Brandon Cook. Because Gallup went out, so he did struggle because CeeDee Lamb was being doubled.
And this year he has a different play caller. So
And that's-
the
and
game,
that's-
the flow of the game is managed a little different this year than it
But
was
see,
last year.
that was my original point.
It's like the Warriors and Kerr and Mark Jackson. The flow of the game was managed differently. It's the same personnel.
So are we going to give that credit to Dak or Mike McCarthy? Because he's playing, he's calling plays.
I would say both.
Probably both.
He can't perform without him calling, and vice versa. So, give credit to both the coach and Dan.
Okay,
You know,
that's valid.
yeah.
But as far as game changers, you can be down. With what? How much was the Chiefs down a couple years ago to Buffalo?
We're down 7.
7 with like
20 seconds.
20 seconds to go, and they ended up scoring.
Mahomes
That's a game
drove-
changer.
yeah, drove down the field.
And that's a
13
game changer.
seconds.
A game manager, you settling for a field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, well, in that case, you can't get a field goal.
Let's
Well, that's trust to the coach and the quarterback.
But that's a
You
game
think-
changer.
yeah, right.
That's a
right,
game
right,
changer.
right.
But let's take that a step further. The past few years, Dallas has lost in the winding seconds of the game because, of course, clock management.
Yeah.
So does that go on coaching? Because what you said is, and he was right by pointing it out, saying that the coaching helped manage that game in that 20-second space.
Yeah, that's all coaching.
But Pat also had to do what he needed to do.
Well, that still falls on
You get what I'm saying?
That still falls on the coach and the quarterback because they
Right,
both have to
but
be able to manage the clock.
Yeah, but Dak hasn't been able to manage the clock with 2 minutes and under.
That and the coaches too.
They ran
because
that fluke play
yeah,
2 years in a row.
While you're in the game, sometimes it's hard to, and that's why coaching plays a big part. Because while you're the flow of the game, sometimes you lose track of stuff like that, and that's when the coaching comes into play. Like situational football, where you run certain plays based off, remember 2 years ago, they couldn't get a playoff at the end of the game against San Francisco.
And then last year,
same thing with San Francisco.
Played with 3 guys on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
everybody on the outside. That was nonsense.
And that was the end of Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
But I mean,
like I was saying to him earlier, man. The ultimate game changer to me, with lack of athleticism, is Tom Brady.
Peyton.
It's Tom Brady. I mean, because he was able to leave a team that he took to the Super Bowl so many times to go to a team that hadn't been to the playoffs since 2006 and win a Super Bowl in the first year. So that
I agree with that.
That's an ultimate game changer right there.
I think him and Peyton. I don't think Peyton gets enough
Oh,
credit.
Peyton definitely he's a game changer
Because, truth be told, Peyton, the Legion of Boom was different. Because remember, Peyton's first year in Denver was his MVP year. They lost to the Legion of Boom out in New York for that Super Bowl.
50 plus touchdowns.
Yeah.
7 in one first 2 weeks.
So that year he could have won. He could have won with that Denver squad. But the Legion of Boom, outside of that bonehead play the very next year, could have went back to back.
and that's including having 4 neck surgeries.
Peyton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he missed the whole year previous. That's how the Colts got injured.
That same exact team had Brock Osweiler, and they were subpar.
Yeah.
Did they have Brock or they had Tim
No,
Tebow?
no.
Because I know
Brock-
Tim Tebow
Brock.
won a game for them.
Brock came after Tebow.
Right.
Got you.
And they basically just put Peyton in there.
And then
Offense changes.
yeah,
He's thrown 7 touchdowns.
yeah. So
Wes Welker was there.
I think
Yeah, he brought him. Yeah, he
Eric Decker,
Yeah. Brandon Stokely was there as well.
Your man that passed away, number 88.
Demarius Thomas.
Yep,
Yeah.
he was there.
I got one more question to ask you. What is the relevancy of Cam's statement and how Tom Brady worded it? Tom Brady basically said the same thing, just not with different verbiage and detail, I guess. Tom Brady said that a lot of the NFL today is mediocrity. Same. Basically, if you think about it, when you call somebody a game manager, that's why people took offense to the statement. It's almost like saying he's mediocre.
I think they took that a little too personal.
But it's the same statement that both of them are making. It's just
one is filtered and one is unfiltered.
well, you also got to remember who the messages are coming from.
True.
Tom Brady, the golden boy. They want to paint Cam as the bad boy, I guess. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that you got to remember who says it.
but if Jordan makes a statement and Charles Barkley makes a statement, it should be taken
one
the same way.
is filtered.
It's golden.
Yeah.
It's
And
golden.
one is unfiltered.
It's golden.
Charles is going to tell you what he's thinking at the moment.
Right.
Jordan stuff is going to be more
It's golden.
button up.
Right, but
It's golden.
that's what I'm saying. Both of them did it at a higher level, at the highest level in that space. So I don't think we should look at Cam's statement one way or another than Cam. I can see if it was like I don't know,
Like Jason
Jimmy
Whitlock or
Clausen.
something.
I don't know, no disrespect to Jimmy Clausen, but Jimmy Clausen making that type of a statement, then you can be like, but you wasn't even that good
I don't think
at the highest level.
I don't think Cam was trying to down anybody.
Right,
Because
yeah.
first of all, you can't do that when you made it to the NFL.
NFL, yeah.
Right.
Everyone has talent. Just
Right.
some are greater than others. It's the same thing in basketball. Yeah, everybody's not Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe
Right.
Bryant, all them, but they made it to the NBA.
Right.
So they're athletes.
At one point, he was one of the best in the country.
Exactly. So I don't think he was trying to down. I just think he was just trying to break it down to just the differences.
The
of,
same
you
statement
know,
Brady made about a month ago. Now.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
he was just speaking on from his perspective what his thoughts and views were when it comes to the level of quarterback play. So, you got guys that can win you football games That, like I said, a guy like me rooting for the Jets, I would love to have a Kirk Cousins,
For sure.
shit, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts.
Of course, we know you would want that.
But we got Aaron Rodgers who's coming back next week, hopefully.
Okay, well, speaking of coming back, we know somebody that's not coming back. That's the Chargers head coach.
Yeah, I think it was about time, man.
What's your thought on that?
Anytime you play a game where dude catches a one-handed interception
And
for a
looks
pick
back.
six,
It
it
looks
looked
back
back.
like it's a dunk.
Now, look. Granted, we say these coaches on hot seat too. We got to remember too. Now, these guys do not play the game. They may call the game. You may not manage it the right way all the time with certain calls, but they're not performing out there on the field.
To an extent.
So we can't sit there and blame them
So-
for everything.
So
you know?
let me ask you
To an
this:
extent.
at what point does the voice in the locker room need to change? Because yes, I agree 100%. The coaches are not playing, but when your players are not giving forth effort, or one thing, and we all played at some point, some level. When you play for your coach, you play for yourself and your teammates, but when your coach is a solid coach, you want to perform.
Oh, I agree with that. I agree, but we also got to remember that he had a whole season where all the stars were hurt. So that the Chargers,
Staley, that name?
Staley, yeah. They had
that's still no excuse.
they had nobody but Eckler.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
remember last year in the playoffs, they blew a 30-point lead.
And still had nobody but Eckler.
No,
This dude was leading receiving on the team. He's a running back.
Yeah, but you got a generational type quarterback in Herbert.
They had Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan
He only
Allen.
got hurt.
That year in the playoffs?
Yeah, he was hurt. He can't. Yeah,
Last year?
this season he was hurt. Yes.
No,
What about,
I'm talking about the playoffs, not.
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams.
You don't look. You confused and you don't even. You don't
I'm
even know.
asking,
Know what I'm saying? Like we would know. We would know these
I
guys
watch
that
the
play.
Chargers.
Right. We would know these guys that playing. It's like they weren't. It's like they weren't playing. So I will agree with you. Yeah. The voice did need to change. That was his fourth year,
Yeah.
third year, fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth year.
Yeah. So it probably needs to
I think he
change.
got hired when Herbert was drafted.
The
No, remember
the black coach was there.
He
before
was there.
that.
Anthony Lynn, something Lynn.
Yeah.
He was there for like a year. Then he got
Okay.
fired.
Yeah.
First
Um,
year.
is Herbert a game manager or game changer?
It's a game changer.
I think his talent is being wasted in LA. He needs to
Game
get out of
changer.
there.
I think we'll know better when he gets another, coach, GM, and the philosophy of how to run that offense changes, and we'll see can he still produce what he's been doing the past couple of years.
I mean, he's making numbers like Phillip Rivers on a bad team. So
Yeah, but again, we'll know for sure if he's still putting up these same numbers and they're not winning, then we'll say yeah, he's a game changer on the wrong team.
right.
So,
I mean, it's tough.
but you can't allow 60 whatever points.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Straight off.
no bueno.
That's terrible defense.
49,
The defensive coordinator should have been gone too.
He's probably gonna be going at the end of the year too. They're probably going. Whatever coach comes in, he's gonna bring in his own. It's only what four games left. So
Yeah.
whoever comes in, is probably gonna bring in their own staff.
Again, on the topic of coaching, who do you guys think could go over there?
Bill Belichick could, if he doesn't decide to retire. I mean, he's been linked to Chargers and the Panthers, so I'm guessing he will be left with the decision on his own, not the owner. They would give him that opportunity. Respect.
But if you're Bill Belichick, would you want to go there? Because Washington is
You can
another.
wear
So better-
short sleeves year round.
It's a better.
Why would you not go there?
It's a
In
better.
a dome, right? They play in a dome, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a dome.
But
It's a
you got to remember, for the last couple of years, Bill has been buying the groceries too. So, is LA gonna give him all that control?
It's a better roster. It's a better roster than what he has
Well,
in New England.
Yeah, most.
That's because he's been making those selections in New England. He's the GM and the coach.
Well, at least he wouldn't have to get a quarterback. He already has one. So now the other pieces fall down, offensive line, some DBs.
Right.
You know, the hardest thing.
Do you trust him to make the proper selection?
He may got six Super Bowls. I would.
He picked Brady, so
Yeah,
it's very difficult to not think that, or even like defensive guys that we didn't like Bale.
Yeah, but nobody thought Brady was gonna be who.
Well, he picked Matt. He picked Matt Castle too. Matt Castle was a
Matt
beast.
Castle
He
was
went.
great. Garoppolo, Asante Samuel. It's like he knows how to pick players.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't pay him also.
Well, that's
Once
Robert
it's-
Kraft.
Once it's time.
Yeah, he doesn't write checks.
Yeah, that's Robert Kraft.
He's not Diddy, bro. He's not the player.
Yeah, but Bill Belichick gets rid of the players before it's time for them to get paid, though.
And it works. You can't knock the way he does things.
20 years of what they've been doing. I mean,
Yeah, but then so then we could say the same.
6 and 20 years, right?
We could say the same thing for Popovich, because Popovich hasn't been relevant in 10 years. His teams haven't been relevant in the last 10 years.
but he made picks when he got them championships. So I mean, they made that.
Listen, when you talking about picking in the ninth or David Robinson and Tim Duncan, I think that's a home run when you got the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, but he went Tony Parker and Ginobili and all the other fillers. I mean, that's just coaching that know how to put things in place.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, the same thing with Joker. If you knew what Joker was, you think he'd be a 2nd round pick. If you knew what Gilbert Arenas, Tony Parker, Ginobili, nobody knew those guys was going to be.
That's why they created scouts. That's why they got guys out there looking at these players. What are you talking about?
Okay, so they get picked in the 2nd round because the scouting did a great job.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
that's my point.
somebody has to see
They
something.
weren't able to see certain things.
Some people see things that.
Exactly. So when you get picked in the 2nd round in the NBA, you're not projected to be a all-star player,
No,
let alone a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Ginobili was 2nd round.
Look, your goal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Your goal is
Jokic.
your goal is to get in whichever way you can, whether it be 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round, whatever it is. But you still have to get in there and perform. Whether you got 1st rounders that get in there don't play like their 1st round.
But and you further prove my point. You don't see what someone is off first glance, because if you did, then Jordan wouldn't have picked Kwame Brown 1st overall. Anthony Bennett wouldn't have gotten picked 1st overall.
Well, Jordan just can't pick talent.
Look,
let's be honest.
But that's also part of scouting.
I get that.
Let's be
That's
honest,
also part of
you got
scouting.
Adam Morrison on that list. You got Kwame on that
Yeah.
list. You got Bismack Biyombo.
But that's what I'm saying. You look at guys that would
Kentucky, Gilchrist.
You look at guys.
Bunch of guys on that list.
You look at guys that you would think
Kemba Walker was up.
he was okay.
I said, yeah, he's all right.
Again,
You look at guys that you would think would pan out in the 1st round, and them guys didn't live up to the potential. Then you got someone who's coming in as a 2nd round pick with not even a guaranteed full contract and has no expectations.
but sometimes it's luck though.
I agree with that too.
You dig in a bag of rocks enough, eventually you'll find a diamond.
Well, yes,
So sometimes
you know,
it's
football scouting and basketball scouting is 2 different things.
Right.
So
Right.
that's
skill sets, the range.
Yeah, that's 2 different.
But back to on the hot seat, Rex Ryan might be a candidate. I heard his name come up this week as far as the Chargers coaching job.
I mean, he has a voice. I will say that Rex Ryan has a voice.
Mm-hmm.
He can get the players right. He's a players coach.
You put the right offensive guys around him, I think, because he's never had that.
You need a different energy. They need different energy.
Yeah.
What about Jason Garrett? What's his name?
Yeah.
The former Dallas coach.
I mean, he's offensive coordinator over there.
Yeah, I don't.
It could be a reunion.
I'll be real with you, man. When Jason Garrett was coaching the Cowboys, man, he seemed like a pushover to me. Just like a pushover.
I mean, everybody that goes to the Cowboys except for Jimmy Johnson, you gotta follow suit whatever Jerry wants.
Well, I mean,
'Cause-
yeah, but he looks like the pushover. I mean, you know, Mike McCarthy is taking. He's going full throttle. To forget Barry Switzer, all he did was just take over Jimmy Johnson's team. But
Well, Mike McCarthy realized, listen, if I'm gonna get fired, I'm gonna call the plays and I'm gonna go out swinging.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
one way or another, I might get fired. So it is.
it is
I
what
might
it is.
as well do it my way.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, that's a fact.
What about
Tomlin?
Yeah,
Tomlin, you think he's on the hot seat?
No,
I think.
I don't think so.
Because the record is not that much better without Canada.
But yet they 7-6 still above 500.
No.
Still in the playoffs.
7-8. They lost yesterday.
Okay. No, I mean it's 7-7 then. They were 7-6. Yeah. So they still 500 and still got a chance at the playoffs.
But how long are you gonna allow this guy to be mediocre and keep saying, okay, well,
So you think Mike Thomas mediocre
what's 500?
this year? He hasn't had a losing record.
When was the last time he had a winning record?
He got a Super Bowl.
When?
What do you mean win?
Tell me when.
Like 20 years ago.
Okay, and then 2 years after that, and beyond that, it's been 500.
So you wouldn't take Mike Tomlin as your head coach?
I would.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying,
But
I wouldn't.
I don't think he's
Saying,
mediocre, though.
If you are an owner, how often are you going to say, well, we were 500. We were mediocre.
yeah.
Hey, look.
You played, what did Herm Edwards say? You played a game
You
to win.
play to win the
You
game.
played to win the game.
And then-
Not be 500.
And then what happened to him after that?
Forget all
Remember,
that. That's not the point.
okay, so-
the point is, if he goes 500 again,
Look, Mike
you're the owner. What do you say? Like, listen, Mike.
Mike Tomlin has
I love the 500 thing that you got going on. We want to win.
Mike Tomlin has some type of energy, some type of voice in that locker room.
I agree.
That's exactly why he's still
Now,
there.
somebody made an interesting
I
point.
agree.
They said, okay, he has a voice, but remember, Antonio Brown was under his watch.
Le'Veon.
Big Ben was under his watch with the whole off the field stuff. Le'Veon was under his watch.
Juju.
Juju was
TikTok.
under his watch.
And those guys are gone, and he's still there.
But you need players like that in order to win. And I guess with the mediocre players he has, he's able to sustain that 500 record. But at some point,
When do you say
He has to win
is-
something.
This is it.
That's the Rooney family, man. They're going.
he's been in 2 Super Bowls. He won 1.
Yeah.
In 17 years, 16
Yeah.
years. You've been there since Bill Cowher. Was that 07?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
because Ben got 2. He got 1 in I
Yeah.
think 05.
Two out of 3.
Yeah, but at some point,
This
listen,
is his last year on his contract, anyways. No, next year. Next year is his last year.
Listen.
Me, I think they're gonna allow him to play next year out.
and then
If
go
he gives
from
us
there.
500 again,
Hey, yo,
they're gonna 500 his way out of there. They're gonna get him out of there.
Pittsburgh, I need y'all to
Right,
fire
right.
Mike Tomlin.
Well, okay. So, what do we say about Pete Carroll?
Pete Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
I think Geno saved Pete Carroll's job.
Last year,
Being able to take a guy that was written off, put him in your system, and
after moving on from Russ,
right, and then being able to get to the playoffs with this guy that was written off, saved his coaching career.
see, Mike Tomlin, Kenny Pickett hasn't really progressed the whole time playing with Mike Tomlin compared to Geno Smith and
Even Mitch, they brought Mitch in,
and he's
thinking they were
still.
going to do Geno's type of thing.
Now you want to give
It didn't pan out.
coaching, Brian Dable. Brian Dable was able to coach an undrafted rookie, and they won 3 games in a row.
I meant to say this too, man. When you asked about the Chargers, about the coaching,
Mhm.
you don't forget Jim Harbaugh is also into the fold.
Yes.
Alex Smith,
Forgot all about
Kaepernick,
Yeah.
and what he's doing in Michigan right now.
Yeah,
So
he might end up. But if he does take a job, I see him taking Chicago, because that way he can draft his own quarterback.
Too cold in Chicago.
now, yeah,
Michigan is just as cold.
I know it,
Yeah,
but
but they play well. Don't play. It's a cakewalk
I
compared to the NFL.
I mean,
Yeah,
I can
but-
see him. I can see him still with Herbert already being you develop. I can see him going to the Chargers. It's warm, you know.
Now,
Back to that Cali.
Yeah.
speaking of Cali weather, what's the picks for this week?
The games.
Okay, I'll give you the first one.
Okay.
We got the Falcons and the Panthers.
It's a tie.
You
Another
say
tie?
It's a tie.
But what's crazy? There's a 6-way tie for 6 and 7 in the
Yeah.
NFC.
yes.
Bucks are leading that division.
The Bucks are, yeah. Let's go Bucks.
I mean,
Baker.
For your sake, yeah.
Come on, bro. I know the Jets. We play the Dolphins today in Miami.
Oh, that's the Dolphins, dub.
That's a look. I'm with you.
It's the Dolphins.
I'm gonna do the reverse psychology thing because I picked against my team and we won last week. So let's go Miami.
We got the Bucks and the
Welcome
Packers.
to Miami.
We got Chicago and Cleveland. At Cleveland.
I got
I'm gonna
Cleveland.
go with Cleveland on that. Flacco is
Yeah.
playing right now.
He looks like what you call it from the Replacements.
Again, the game
Falco.
manager.
Falco.
The game manager has extended his career.
That's a good one. Falco. The Bucks and
Bucks and Green Bay.
yeah.
At Green Bay.
I'm gonna give it Green Bay.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
I think they're gonna have a bounce back. They they lost against the Giants.
Jordan Love is killing it right
Yeah, but I'm still going Baker.
now. Giants, Saints.
You know what?
I'm going with the Saints.
I'm gonna go with the Giants, man. I'm gonna go with
I'm gonna go with the Saints.
I'm gonna go with the replacements, man.
Okay.
Or for your sake, you need to fit.
Dan DeVito.
Titans and Houston. I don't know if CJ Stroud, but it's in
I'm gonna
Tennessee.
go with Tennessee.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, Tennessee pulled out a good win. They upset against Miami, but
Will Levis looks good.
This is playoff implications too, because they're both in the same division,
yeah.
and
Now,
they're
I don't-
both in the wild card hunt.
I'm going. If CJ doesn't play, I'm going.
I don't think he
Texans.
plays because he's still in concussion protocol.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Texans.
Okay.
I mean, Tennessee.
You're gonna go with the concussion.
No, Tennessee.
That's
Tennessee.
crazy.
Tennessee.
Chiefs and Patriots at New England. New England has been struggling to put up points.
Chiefs
Can
by-
they put up points. in
Chiefs
the
by
next
25.
Chiefs by what?
Chiefs by 25.
Give me Chiefs money line.
Pacheco is not playing as well, so that's going to be interesting.
Oh, Chiefs by 12.
Yeah.
San Francisco at Arizona.
Yo,
Give me San Fran.
hey, look, Arizona man been giving people problems.
San Fran is
That could be the sleeper. That could be the disappointment of the day right there.
Trap game.
Yep.
San Fran.
Trap game.
Could be.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the 49ers, but I think that's a good trap game.
Okay, we got the Rams and Washington at the Rams.
The
The
Rams.
Rams.
I think Washington is tanking the past few years. Past few weeks. I don't think they've been really putting the effort that they need.
They about to trade the house.
We have probably game of the week, Dallas at Buffalo.
Gonna go with those Bills.
I'm going with Dallas.
I know you got that.
They had a strong performance last week.
Yeah, you don't have DAL, you got DAK, right? Dak.
I'm gonna go with the Bills. They on a what 2 or 3 game winning streak. I think Josh Allen is gonna.
I mean,
the weather's gonna be a factor, and Bills are.
That was a bogus call last week, but I'll give you that.
Okay.
I mean,
Kadarius
it was.
we have a playoff, not Super Bowl, but MVP contender in Lamar playing against what seems to be Wolverine and Trevor Lawrence.
Look, Baltimore's on a run right now.
Yeah.
Trevor
Yeah,
Lawrence
nobody's
still-
talking about that.
Why?
Trevor Lawrence still limping out that injury, so
I don't know. Yesterday, last week, I think you could have hit him in the leg with a baseball bat. He probably would have felt.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sunshine this week.
This guy was
what are you in Jacksonville?
in Jacksonville.
I'm gonna go with Baltimore.
Okay, and Monday night we have Philly. Can Philly redeem themselves against Seattle?
I think they do.
At Seattle.
It's in Seattle.
Ooh.
It's gonna be some bad weather. I still, but Gino,
And Gino, we trust. They wrote him off.
Okay,
Nah.
Pete Carroll.
and he right back.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I get it.
His job.
I get it, but there's 2 talented coaches on both sides. I think Eagles really have to have that bounce back game because you lost to Dallas, they lost the week before. So I think they may come back and make a statement, try to be number 1 in the division.
All right. Well, that's all we have for the NFL. But
That's
speaking
all,
of
folks.
Making statements. What statement did LeBron make by winning the in-season tournament?
He just won the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
You guys like the celebration and all that?
It's not the finals. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
you won the tournament. You
listen,
won it.
It's the first time, you know, people said the same thing with the playing game. And at first it was like, what is this? It's frowned upon, but now that's something to get teams involved because you still have a chance. I think this will catch on at some point. But what we should be talking about is the former #1 pick is Zion Williamson and how.
Wait. Before we even go to that, I gotta ask y'all, what is y'all thoughts on getting him a banner?
Get what?
The Lakers saying that they're gonna put a banner for the in-season tournament.
Well, that's not that was the NBA instituted that. They you have to put a banner.
I thought that was team put it. I didn't think the NBA.
Yeah, because they talked about it on the
I thought
radio.
it was the news too.
Yeah,
Okay,
they talked about that on the radio.
Okay.
They said that the NBA to make it official, they wanted to put a banner
I
up.
thought that was just
Do
team
y'all put it
initiative.
next to the championship banners, or you put it like
I mean, you could put it anywhere.
It's gonna be
in the
right
locker
beside.
room or the
So,
hallway?
look, let me-
Well, the Lakers got 18 doggone banners.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got room to put another one up.
Now, I mean, realistically, it's no different from when you win your division.
You do it in
Or
high
if you
school.
win the Eastern Conference Championship or the Western Conference Championship, whether you win or lose the finals, you still put a banner up by winning the Eastern Conference.
Again, in high school and in college, they do that with the invitational.
Yeah.
Or,
you do all that.
regional.
Yeah.
Whatever. You put those up there.
But
But
you won
I-
your conference.
It's just the Lakers are a prestigious team.
Yeah, it looks, you know, some people are downplay it because of two reasons. It's the Lakers and it's LeBron. If a team like the Knicks won it, shit, that's the last time we won something in forever.
Yeah, but it's no different. It's
Huh?
The Knicks.
Yeah.
it's no
Next year.
different.
Yo, I seen somebody say New York stand for next year.
Yeah, next year.
Oh,
Look, it's a banner. You won it. You won it in the season tournament. Congratulations. Let's get to the real thing.
That's a bet. That's
Yeah.
good.
But Zion, yeah. Do y'all think? And it was brought up on the radio about him changing teams to get motivated. But my thing is this: you just signed that extension. What more motivation do you need? Changing teams. If you're not motivated now, see that's the difference between good and great. If the situation has to be perfect in order for you to want to be the best, then you're not meant for that. Because look at Kevin Garnett, and I'm not comparing them, but you look at Kevin Garnett, it wasn't an ideal situation in Minnesota, and they almost had to beg him, Kevin Garnett, like, yo, let's put you on a team that you can win, but you never question KG's motor, his heart. He gave it his all.
Right.
So even when the circumstances wasn't the best, you know, so
I just think, you still getting paid millions, man, regardless.
thank you.
Get out there and play.
Right.
You know,
At a high level.
right. And not to mention, man, if he wants to have a long career, he needs to lose some more weight, man. This
Yeah.
dude's getting bigger. You know, not to talk about him in a bad way, just saying that, you know, those knees and jumping that he does,
You pointing out the obvious though.
he needs to reduce that weight, man. Put the muscle, reduce the fat. I mean, you're on an NBA weight program. I don't understand.
I mean, he is on a weight program. He can't wait to eat.
You know, that's all. Let's go.
I'm just saying.
This is the one time that I won't hit you guys with what school you went to.
I mean, we can see what's
He's wearing the shirt.
Look, yeah, we can see what's going on.
Yeah, it's the one time I won't do it. But I agree with everything you guys have said. I think Zion needs to take the game of basketball more serious than he is, or at least more serious than he's shown.
Right.
Yeah.
On the court and off the court. Because when he is playing, he's a generational talent.
Right.
He's arguably something or someone that you can rally a league behind and say, this is one of our premier whatever for the future. But he just doesn't take it as serious sometimes, at least in my opinion.
And what's so funny of it is, man, you got some guys that can turn it on whenever they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has the ability to turn it on any second when he wants to, and it's like you said, it doesn't look like he's taking it seriously at all.
The NBA has a real problem because the NBA wants to market the best players being American players.
Right.
And then 2 young stars, even though there's a third one that came out of the woodworks, and Anthony Edwards, John Morant, Zion Williamson. That's who the NBA wants to market as. This is who's going to bring the game to the next,
South Carolina.
next level. But then you got guys, Giannis, Joker, Embiid, Luka. That's another one. These guys are coming over and dominating, and now it's like you could market them, but it's like you think of America being the best, but
Right.
I've been saying this since we first started. The world's caught up.
Hey, I'm glad you mentioned John Morant, man. You know he's coming back Tuesday. What do you think about that?
He needs to lay low, put up numbers, start fresh next year, and remind everybody why you're one of the top dogs in the league.
It's going to take him a minute to get back in the game play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think Memphis has to prove themselves because Dylan Brooks has had his revenge best series of Coach Ditch moment.
Did you hear what he said though?
What he said?
That he made a statement saying that they kind of used him as a scapegoat.
Which they did.
Of course, yeah.
Anybody who knows basketball knows basketball.
I think we said it in one of our episodes. I believe.
They didn't want to back him. They didn't want to back him when things started getting a little rough. So
When he was doing it and
it was
work,
cool.
It was
cool.
Again,
right.
It's like a Draymond type of thing.
Right.
When it works, enforce it. When it doesn't work, whoa, what are you doing? So,
do you think he brings them back into playoff contention? Because Ja
now.
Because they're down bad right now.
Ja, again, back to what we were saying in the last segment, game manager, game changer. Ja is a game changer. He
Correct.
takes them from a bottom feeding team to top 5.
Oh, I agree with that.
Listen,
Immediately.
Ja Morant, Ja Rule, they're not going to the playoffs this year.
Come on. You don't think so?
Yeah, they're not going to the playoffs this year. It's over this year.
Ja Rule is
Yeah, he crazy. Yo.
But speaking of playoffs, the Warriors, Draymond Green, I think Draymond Green doesn't realize he's playing the wrong sport. He should be a professional wrestler because he's out there giving people's elbow, doing the leg,
stomp.
Yeah, the 8-town stomp, the Hulk Hogan leg drop,
the master lock.
Yeah, he threw somebody in a full Nelson, and he's suspended indefinitely.
Kicking field goals, all types of stuff, bro.
He's suspended indefinitely, and it's pretty much. And this is a hot take. I could be way off. I think the Warriors are done. I think they need.
You mean done with him or just
No,
done?
just that dynasty, that run.
Oh, yeah.
is over.
Yeah.
It's longer than tooth. You got Andrew Wiggins bench. Clay doesn't look the same.
Armenia is not what they think.
Yeah, I think they need to blow it up. Clay would thrive on a team like the Lakers.
Well, that's their collateral piece right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the better question is, what is Clay's market value? Because I was speaking with my brother yesterday, and I asked him, compared to Ray Allen leaving Boston, where is Clay at? Is he that? Because Ray Allen leaving Boston had a high value just being a spot-up shooter. Clay, I think, is better than that version of Ray Allen.
So
there's value for him.
You put him on a team like the Lakers. You put him on a team like Sacramento. You put him on a team where you have a guy that can get to the paint.
Sixers, even the Knicks.
The Sixers, the Knicks too.
Knicks.
You get him on a team where you have a guard or a forward that can penetrate, and get him wide open looks.
Right.
He'll be a spot up shooter.
And that's what Ray Allen was
Right.
towards the end of his career.
Post Boston, I think Ray Allen had a high value, and I think Clay might be worth more than that version.
I can see him with the Pacers.
The Pacers.
Halliburton needs another shooter.
He needs a shooter, but he also needs someone that doesn't have to he needs someone that I would think a better person to go to Indiana would be DeMar DeRozan because he can get his buckets from anywhere. You can give them the ball.
Well, DeMar DeRozan ain't going anywhere when they get rid of when Zach LaVine is
They
out
might
there.
blow that whole thing
Yeah,
up.
they-
So
they-
they might
I
blow the
don't
whole
You're,
thing.
you're a Chicago fan, right?
Yeah, I like the Bulls.
You have to say it.
No, but they
I,
probably gonna blow
I
that
think
up.
the Bulls blow it up to try to build for the future, and you have 2 assets. You get
3. You could get rid of
Well, they can
7-2.
or
Kobe White,
They-
Carolina players, balling, phenomenal.
You forget they can get rid of Caruso too. So
Caruso,
yeah.
yeah.
So
I
yeah.
think
Everything went down for the Bulls. Once Lonzo Ball got hurt, I don't care. You can look at the numbers. You can look at the stats. Once Lonzo got hurt, that was it.
He's a facilitator, so you know I give some
33
slight you know
What's-
with that.
what's the punishment for Draymond? Being that okay, like we're all agreeing that the dynasty, the run, the magical, whatever, the Warriors it's going out without grace.
I have to really see.
What is Draymond's punishment?
I gotta really see.
If I'm the Warriors, you don't punish him by suspending him. Put him on a bad team. Put him on Detroit. Put him on Detroit.
Yo, they on
Put him on the
23
Spurs.
games.
You put him in Detroit, like I put in the group chat. Madison
Yo.
College.
Put him
Yo.
on a team
Yo,
that is not contending for him.
That's really disrespectful.
Since Draymond has been on the Warriors, they've always been a playoff or contending team, except for the years Clay was injured and stuff. But other than that,
That's a bit harsh. Detroit is a bit harsh.
That's rough.
hey, what
Send him to the Knicks.
Brooklyn. Send him to Brooklyn.
No, but my thing is this:
Or
But
Orlando.
I get what you're saying.
you gotta understand that it's a privilege to just be on
Be on that stage.
that stage, plus be regarded to 4 championships.
Yeah, to be able to contend for a championship, not even just win, to contend for those spaces.
That's why I said Golden State should have took initiative before this even got this far
Facts.
and did that. Instead of waiting, instead of just babying him and saying, "Oh man, it's okay." So
What do you thought?
When it works, it works.
he's been suspended 4 times since Jordan Poole knocking Jordan Poole out.
Absolutely, but
What
when
do
it
you
works,
thoughts
it works.
on Stephen A. calling out Steph Curry over the Draymond situation?
About his leadership.
Yeah, because
Perk did it too.
truth be told, I don't always agree with Stephen A. Smith, but on this one, I kind of see. I'm not saying I necessarily agree, but I kind of see where he's coming from. And I hate to put everything LeBron, but if that was LeBron,
No,
if
you
that was
don't.
LeBron's
No, you don't.
teammate,
No, you don't.
if that was LeBron's teammate, the media would be killing
I
LeBron.
got it. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, you don't hate doing LeBron segments because you mention him with every single thing we do, even if it's football, boxing, soccer. But anyway, I kind of agree with Steve a little bit. I mean, y'all know. I mean, Steve Kerr. A lot of times he has babied Draymond with the comments that he's made. Instead of just taking ownership with that. You messed up. You need to own it. But like I said, if Golden State had just took the initiative beforehand, before it got this far, we probably wouldn't even be talking about it.
True. I mean, you got to understand when you step on a man's chest in the playoffs. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Listen, I got a different take on that. I think the media, including Steve Kerr, has pushed this narrative. Because every time Draymond does something, yes, they acknowledge, that was a boneheaded play, or that was out of line. But then they also back that whole situation by saying that's Draymond being Draymond. That's part of who he is. Mm-hmm. That's what the Warriors need from him. He is the heart and soul. He is the energy.
I agree
So
with
that narrative has pushed it this far.
I agree with
that.
So Draymond ran with it. So now that it's too far, it's like, whoa, leadership.
I'm gonna
Steph
add to
Curry.
that.
Wait a minute, you guys are the ones y'all are the ones that pushed this.
Well, you can leave without knocking somebody
But wait,
head.
No, but
He-
what I'm saying, the media is what pushed this narrative. Like Draymond, you keep doing this is what makes the Warriors the Warriors. Because without Draymond, we're claiming that Game 6, LeBron would have never won Game 6 if Draymond played.
What is the first thing that
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
what is one of the first things, and to now I'm laid it out perfectly fine. What is the first thing older people say about today's game compared to before?
It's soft.
And that's one of the main things. Oh, these guys are soft and this, that, and the third. And Draymond is, he's like he's giving y'all, okay, this is how the game was played before, and now people are complaining.
It's too far.
So it's like you can't pick and choose that the game is soft, and then when you have a player, now he's doing some dirty stuff, but that's how the game was played back in the day.
But what's the difference between Draymond and Bill Laimbeer?
I will give
exactly.
I will give you credit.
Or Kirk Rambis knocking somebody in the head.
I will give you
or Isaiah
or Jordan pushing somebody and then hitting the shot.
If I can never answer the question, you know what I'm saying? But I get it though. No, I get it. Y'all made great points with that, man. I mean, it was widely accepted in the NBA then.
Right.
Every team was doing it.
Absolutely.
Now I guess since it's got pushed back to you can't do hand check, do this, do that, do that. I guess now in a different light, different era, it's being seen as really too harsh. I mean, good God. I mean, Draymond about knocked that man to the ground. I mean this wasn't even involved in a play. This was posting up. The ball not in your hand, that's swinging.
He said he's selling a foul.
He was selling more than a foul.
Hold on. Then you're talking about, now I get the Jordan Poole thing, was at practice. You got a shove and you got knocked out. Totally no different than Michael Jordan knocking the piss out of Steve Kerr. I get that.
But we didn't see it.
We didn't see that. It was told, and Steve Kerr confirmed it too, and he said it, but we didn't see that.
Right.
But since it's so far in the media with cameras here, TikTok here, YouTube there, it's being shown as being worse than it was.
The narrative on that Jordan thing was it's competitive.
Yeah, and even though he was picking on the smaller teammates,
Right,
when they did that
so
to
when
him,
Draymond did it was like, oh well,
But
I
don't think that was competition. Looking at the way Draymond did that.
Right. No,
but we don't know about the Jordan thing.
Yeah,
because Jordan even said
competitive.
Steve Kerr was giving him work, and they was joining at each other.
I
He
get
got
that.
upset.
I get that.
He did a sucker move.
I get it. I just
the media
physically seeing. We've seen each one Draymond done, kicked one of the balls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stomp man's chest, knock your teammate out, knock another guy. Yeah, I mean this is like violence. Like this is not basketball at this point.
The media is controlling some of these narratives to an extent.
Yeah,
because they make it acceptable for us to say, oh, okay, the
And
90s era is this. Again,
I like it because we talked about the first segment. Tom Brady throws off his helmet. He's passionate.
Yeah.
He just wants to win. Cam Newton takes off his helmet. Why is he doing that?
Cam wears a towel.
That is a stereotype.
Why is he doing that?
That is a stereotype.
That's a boneheaded thing.
Yeah,
so
it's a stereotype.
I agree with you. The media, they'll spin it however they want to spin it because Tom throwing his tablet, on the ground and he's just a fiery competitor.
Yeah.
Cam Newton just sitting there, just minding his business. Oh, he's not engaged. Like that. So it's just like it does.
Again, we went from the WWE Attitude Era to the PG era that the WWE is today. So that's what the NBA is similar to.
I watched Draymond play at Michigan State, man. That was a passionate player. The boy, he was all around good player, scorer.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what's happened. One thing we do have to understand is these players do have lives outside of sports.
Right. We
don't know what goes on, who's gambling, who's doing drugs, who's drinking, we don't know who have a problem at home with their ladies, whatever.
But see,
talking about Georgia?
Georgia.
Jordan.
No, I'm talking about Draymond.
But you do know that's what separates. Yeah, everything. You do know that's what separates the professionals from regular civilians.
It does, but
your ability to block off the outside world for that 48 minutes, that's what makes you different from somebody that plays at the YMCA. Final thoughts? Because we don't want the same thing to happen, because we're flowing.
What?
Final thoughts? We wrap this up. We got
I don't know, man. I wish Draymond just, get what he needs, man. Get back on the court and be able to finish your career out, with a legacy that says you're a 4-time champion.
Yes.
Yada yada yada.
You don't need to do all this.
Not that
he's doing rookie stuff that when you're trying to make the team.
Right.
Once you get to that established level, you don't have to do the little stuff like that.
Right.
33.
Yeah, you a grown ass man.
You got kids, man. They're looking at this, man. They're gonna see this later.
But you know what it is? And this is my final thoughts. Draymond is benefiting because he hasn't played in an era where there's true big men. Some of that stuff he's doing, he wouldn't have got away with. The fact that he's even playing power forward in the early 2000s, Chris Webber, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, guys like that, he wouldn't be able to do some of the stuff that he does.
Again, he picks and chooses who he does these things to.
I will say it though.
These are all foreign guys.
Golden State made it effective to play small ball with him, so it worked. But that's kind of out the door now.
On that note, it's your boy T.
That's your man TJ.
It's your boy now, man.
And we out.